Hi, I'm Lisa, and I'm a high school teacher.
And I'm Chris, and I work in tech.
Together, we are sailing vessel Serenity.
We bought a boat we couldn't afford
and put it into charter to help pay for it.
But every chance we get,
we're aboard chasing adventures.
This is our story.
And our dream to sell it all and sail full-time.
At the end of every episode, there's a link to binge the whole journey from the beginning.
Welcome aboard Serenity.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. So, first live stream ever. Welcome to the party. And
first one.
Yeah, we always figured we would do one of these eventually. So here we are. A lot of people will probably be watching this as a VOD later, and a lot of folks will probably ask us questions in the description, so we'll try to answer those. But if anybody is actually joining live right now, thank you and welcome. This is our first of what we're going to be calling the Fifth Saturdays podcast. We'll explain that in just a second. But for those who watch later, just as a quick introduction, I'm Chris. I work in tech.
And I'm Lisa. I'm a high school teacher.
Yep. So the reason we're going to be calling these the Fifth Saturdays podcast, unless you want to kind of cover why we chose to call it that.
Well, because we do a video every other week, and sometimes there are 5 weeks in a month. So we have this extra week, and we don't want to leave you hanging, so we want to kind of catch you up on what's going on or fill you in on some information that we want to talk about.
Yeah. So first and third Saturdays of every month, we drop a new video. And like Lisa said, sometimes there's 5, and we don't want to go 3 weeks without dropping an episode. So if you've been following along, you probably just finished the first part of our kind of epic trip that we've been doing. And next Saturday, you'll see part 2 of that. We actually are, we're doing pretty good on getting the videos scheduled. So as you can see, here's some couple spoilers that are up on screen right now. So these are the bonus hidden video in there. We'll talk about that in a second. But those are the next few videos that are ready to release, and the dates that those will be releasing for the big mega trip that we're doing. I'm working on part 6 of that right now. We started kind of cobbling that thing together last night, and we're making some progress on it. So we've got lots of stuff scheduled all the way out through mid-January for some upcoming videos there. So next Saturday, you'll see us in a place called Winding Bay, which we'd never heard of. And it was a pretty neat little adventure, go on a little bit of a dinghy ride there. So some fun stuff coming up for you next Saturday.
Before you move on,
yeah,
I hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Everyone had some yummy turkey and still eating on leftovers like we are. Still eating leftovers.
Yep.
Probably will for the rest of the weekend.
Oh gosh, yes, turkey for days, ham for days. I've been tearing up the ham, which, that's Lisa's favorite, so I should probably be toning down the ham a little bit. But cool. So, yeah, thanks for the reminder there.
Yeah.
All right, so life updates. Before we get into kind of the topic for today, we just got back, if you've been following along, from our trip to St. Augustine. We got to see Serenity just after splashing. We were really hoping to catch her while she was up on the hard. We had some projects set up for that, but things changed, and I think that the boatyard knew we were coming and thought, oh my gosh, Chris and Lisa are going to be here. We'll go ahead and get the boat in the water. They can even stay on board. Mm-hmm. We had an Airbnb, Carissa and Robert, if you're watching now or later, thank you so much. That was an amazing Airbnb that you guys found, but we had a great place to stay. Yeah. We didn't get to work on the bottom of the boat. We got some great projects done there. So,
so happy that we got the Serenity logos on the front of the boat on either side. That was a really important feature for me to have, for someone to know that that's our boat. And if they needed to hail us or talk to us, they wouldn't have to wait till they saw the back of the boat to see who to call.
Right.
So they were just calling 42, 42.
We've had that a few times. People are like, 42.
So
The answer to the ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything.
so it's nice to have those on. So I do
Yeah.
feel like it was worth it going down there, even if we didn't get to see the bottom paint job aside from the picture that
Will Vandermeer,
Captain Will took for us.
I
So
think, might be here today if you are.
yeah,
Will is a rock star. Thank you so much.
yeah,
So yeah, we got some good stuff done there. We've got some other trips coming up. One of them in about less than 4 weeks. Lisa and I are doing a little bit different type of a trip. We always bring family or friends with us when we go out on these trips, but we're going back for another New Year's type of trip, and we're super excited about that. But it's just gonna be me and Lisa this time. We're gonna try it out, just doing it, the two of us, because we feel like it's time for that. We like bringing people out with us because we like to show them everything. We get like to experience everything as though it was new for us by doing it with doing the trips with other people. But this time we're gonna go out there. We're probably gonna do the New Year's thing at Green Turtle again. Probably hit some places like Manjack, and definitely gonna try Treasure out. So we'll be bringing those adventures to you guys sometime next year. Because we're already scheduling out the stuff from from this year. Go ahead.
right from this summer. Yeah,
Yeah.
the big trip.
Yeah, the other trips that are already scheduled for next year are spring break. As you know, Lisa's a high school teacher, so we only get to go and do these trips when school's out. So we've got New Year's, we've got spring break, and then we've got a huge trip planned about 3 weeks. So it's actually over 3 weeks.
It's over 3 weeks for the July trip.
Yeah, so we're probably going to the Exumas. So we'll pop out like we did on the trip that you guys are watching right now. We'll pop out of the Abacos and start shooting south, and we'll go someplace fun. We've got the book, the cruising guide for the Exumas, and we're reading up on that to go see all the different places. Apparently there's 356 islands in the Exumas, one for every day of the year. So we're not going to hit all of those. We're going to try to hit the best. So anyway, we're getting that all lined up, and we also just booked on Annapolis. So
Yes.
we missed the last Annapolis boat show, and we're really bummed about that because like all kinds of cool people were there. So yeah, so that's what's coming up for us in the near time. So what we're going to talk about today, we want to talk about cruise ships versus charting. We want to talk about all-inclusive resorts versus chartering, and we've done all that sort of thing. So we're not just trashing on other people's favorite types of vacations. We've done lots of all-inclusives. We've done lots of cruise ships. We've done the charter type of thing, and we feel it's superior. And we're going to talk about why we feel that that's the case. So we also, just to prove that we have a little bit of experience and also have just something kind of fun to do. Don't watch this right now, but I'm gonna say that when this VOD goes up, go back and watch to this point. We're at the probably 8-minute mark, 9-minute mark. Here is a present for you guys. That QR code that's up on your screen right now links to a hidden video. It's a private hidden video that is terribly done. It has horrible audio. It's got terrible video. It's only in 1080p. It's just, it was meant to be a family vacation, but it chronicles the story of us going on the last cruise that we ever did. It was badly disrupted by COVID. It finally ended up happening in 2022. We went down. We were the first cruise ship canceled. We were all the way down in Houston, Texas. We drove all the way down there before we got the "don't get on the ship" message from Carnival. And so this video that you can move my finger. There you go. That video right there is a fun little thing we did as a family vacay video, but we thought as a bonus for anybody who watches this live stream or watches it later as the VOD can check that out. So that's a fun little thing. So we kick it off. We're going to split this into positives and some negatives. And I've been talking a lot. Would you like to now talk some? Sorry, I have a tendency to do that.
Yes, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, that's what balances us.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's fine. What we talk about with a positive on having chartering a boat instead of a cruise ship is that you have a freedom to control your itinerary. Like you can sit down with your captain and say, these are the places I want to go. And then maybe they'll be like, well, here's some suggestions. This is where people like to go. This is a good place to go scuba diving or snorkeling. When you're on a cruise ship, they're like, we're going here, here, and here. And that's all you have to choose from.
Right. You get to pick your excursions maybe. But beyond that, the control of the trip is completely up to what the boat's going to be doing.
Yeah.
When you're on charter, you get to decide. So that, for me, is a big thing. I feel like we prefer to be in charge of our vacation. Another positive, which might be considered also negative, and we actually have that as one of the things listed as a part of what we're going to cover in the negative, so we'll cover both sides of this, is food.
Right. So like food on a cruise ship in the past, many years ago, it was like exquisite, fine dining. It was so great. And then when we went on this last one after COVID, it wasn't that great. It was just like subpar food, like frozen to microwaved to given to us. So it was a lot different. And when we're on our boat, or if you're chartering a boat, you get to cook your own food that you like, or if you choose wherever you are in that particular area, you can go and have dinner at a restaurant or have lunch and appetizers. But you have the choice of your food options.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get to control the food. It's expensive. We'll talk about that here in a second, but on that same kind of tack is beer. So you would think that I would put beer in the negatives, especially since obviously Serenity's in the Bahamas, and beer, everybody knows, everybody who's gone to the Bahamas knows that beer is incredibly expensive in the Bahamas. But I guarantee you, no matter how much it is, even if you're buying local beers or buying the stuff from the U.S., if you're like a Coors Light person, and you're paying the premium to have the beer that you drink at home. Who drinks Coors Light? Where did I get that? My God. Whatever beer you're drinking, I still guarantee you it's cheaper than buying it on a cruise ship, because those beers on the cruise ship, $4 or $5. You're paying. We say it's expensive. You're buying it in the case of beer. It's probably about $2 per beer. And if you're buying it at a restaurant, it's $3 or $4 a beer. On a cruise ship, it's $4 or $5 a beer. So that is another thing. Is like if you're one of those people who gets the plan, I can't remember what it's called, but like the Cheers package.
Yeah, Cheers package. Yeah.
Yeah. So even then, when you divide that out, beer is actually going to be cheaper, even though everybody's going to tell you that beer is way more expensive in the Bahamas. That's true. That you can probably still save money there. So enough about beer.
Yeah. We'll talk about having 5,000 plus people on the cruise ship. And so it's crowded. And a lot of people, they put towels on every single chair. And you don't even get a chance to go down there and sit in the area. We even paid extra, an upgrade, to have our own private area. And we were lucky to get that. Yeah. Just so that we knew we would have a chair. So it's really, really crowded. And then whenever you get to the port that they're letting you off to go do your excursions or just hang out at the port, there's 5,000 people. You're just shuffling through the people. And it's just, it's more, if you're on the charter side and you go somewhere where you want to go, there might be a handful of people. I think anywhere we've run into, there's either 0 or a handful of people.
Yeah. Except that one time at Nippers, but that was...
Oh, that was crazy.
That was I don't know what happened that weekend.
We were with Adventure Cruise.
Oh yeah, we were with the Adventure Cruise.
We were with the Adventure Cruise, and they were like,
I felt
what
horrible.
The heck?
I was like, we got to go to Nippers. You guys are going to love it. We get there, and there's 65,000 people.
There were so many people there. There were even famous people there.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Like we had music artists. Who was that?
Yeah, I don't recall at the moment, but it was nothing that we had experienced there before, because when we went there was like 5 people, and it was insane.
But take that 5,000 people and times it by 7 cruise ships parked in a port.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that island.
And these people weren't even from a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So,
no, yeah, I'm talking about, like, back to your point on the 5,000 people. It's a crowd, not just on board, but at port. So you take one cruise ship that hits a port, 5,000 is bad enough. Like, you'll see that sometimes at, like, if you go to South Florida, you hit, like, the Florida Keys. There might be 1 or 2 cruise ships there, and that little town gets 5,000-10,000 people influxed on it. But you go to some place like Nassau, and there's suddenly 7, 8, 9 cruise ships. So you've got 45,000 people who weren't there this morning, all in town.
And we have that firsthand experience recently. I won't give any spoilers of where we went, but we saw the cruise ships coming in.
Yeah.
And it was nice and quiet and everything. And where we went was nice and quiet. We were able to go visit all the little places. And then that one day, it exploded with people. And we're like, what happened? And Chris is like, do you see all those cruise ships? That's what happened.
That's what happened. Yeah. And the other thing that we hate about the cruise ships is it's gotten to the point where you're really not actually going to the place you're going to.
Right.
Like, you pull into Cozumel, for instance, you're going to come off the ship and walk right into a place that kind of looks like you're in a neat local place, but it's actually a big concrete paddock that the cruise ship owns, that they put up a bunch of, pardon me, a bunch of tiki huts and a bunch, so they got bars and restaurants and pharmacies and gift shops and stuff like that. That's actually not owned by the locals. That's owned by the cruise ships. You have to walk out of the gates that they try to kind of tell you shouldn't really do this unless you're going on an excursion, and walk across the street and walk about 3 blocks down to get to San Miguel, which is the actual town where you can find places like that neat little flea market they've got. They really try to capture you, right? You're on a ship, you're going to a place, you can say you went to Belize, but...
Right. And we were in Belize, and we're like, hey, Caitlin, we're in Belize. Do you want a keychain?
Yeah.
Because that's about all you're going to get here, because we're not going anywhere. And we were there a whole 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
At that port, we were just, okay.
It was awful. You'll see it if you watch the little hidden private video thing that we put the QR code up for right there. That one. If you do that, you'll see what we're talking about. If you try to get out of the cruise area in places like Belize, Cozumel's a little better, but if you try to get outside of that area, they warn you. They're like, people will kidnap you and take you out to their what's that called? Timeshare. They'll try to take you to the timeshare thing. It's like, oh, I want to go to this place. And they'll, so we're going to stop on the way. And then you're stuck in a timeshare thing. So are you really in Belize? Are you really in Mexico? You're really not. And you're not dealing with any of the true local stuff. And you're not benefiting the locals. Whereas we're on a cruise, or charter rather, you're definitely local. Pardon. I know that the BVI's probably is a different experience, but in the Bahamas, there are not really any places that, at least in our part of the Bahamas, that there are cruise ships. So
No.
I would say that the other part is probably like the time that you get at a port, right?
Yeah, you have to make sure you get back in time, because the boat is not going to wait for you. So Chris pointed out a good thing about a cab.
Right. So, like, let's say that you were to go on an excursion of your own. You went off the reservation. You decided, like, okay, I'll use Cozumel as another example. When we would go there, we would always do things like go to Mr. Sancho's. That's not an excursion that the cruise ship has. I think that they would flood it if they did. But you're like, okay, we're going to do something a little bit more chill, and we'll go there instead. But if I were to have a flat tire with a cab, or we got in an accident or something like that, you go off the reservation, the cruise ship's going to leave you behind. But as a result, like, all of these people coming in off these cruise ships, your time at port is limited, right? They might be like 10 a.m. the ship is going to open the doors and people can get it off, and 4 p.m. you need to be back. That's like 6 hours. I get it that some of the ports are a little bit longer than that, some are shorter than that, but you're not in control of that, and you have to be inside of that. Did you really experience Belize if you got 6 hours in Belize, if you got 5-6 hours inside of Cozumel or Cancun or wherever you stopped there? It makes all of those excursions frantic and short, rushed and crowded. And that's just not the way I want to do my vacations ever again.
Right.
I feel like cattle. You know?
Right. And like we, chartering, we go to Hopetown,
Yeah.
which if you've ever been there, it's absolutely amazing.
Elbow Key.
Elbow Key. And it has so much more than what we realized the first time we went there.
Yeah.
And so when we went again, we're like, we're staying another day. We're doing this for 2 days, or we're coming back on.
Scrap the float plan.
Yeah,
This is the place.
we're staying
You can't
here.
do that on a cruise ship.
No.
You can't just decide, you know what, I like this place. Let's stick around a little while.
Yeah.
I guess on the converse side of that too is like, let's say that we went to, I don't know, Great Guanakee and hated it. Now, obviously nobody hates Great Guanakee, but let's just pretend like you did.
Okay.
You got there and you're like, this stinks. I don't want to be here anymore. You leave. You can't do that either on a cruise ship.
Pull up anchor and go to the next place.
Yeah.
Next place.
Out you go. Yeah, so you control the window of opportunity on a charter, and so that's another reason that we really, really like that option. So I think that another good thing that is also something that we'll talk about in the negatives, but how to also improve the price, is you are a huge fan of Captain for a Day to the point that we actually we decided on using Cruise Abaco because of this very unique concept. So this isn't a cruise ship versus charter or an all-inclusive versus charter. This is a cruise ship or all-inclusive versus Cruise Abaco specifically, because you won't find this. So Captain for a Day, take it away.
Yeah. So Captain for a Day, we did this the very first time we chartered a boat, and he would take us to a location, and we talked about the float plan first. So let's say we're going to Hopetown first. So he would take us to Hopetown. We'd either do mooring ball or anchor, and then he would say, all right, I'll see y'all later. You have fun. The dinghy is there for you to use. You can go explore, do whatever you want, and I'll be back at what time? What time do you want me to be here? We're like, 8 o'clock. Okay, I'll be back at 8 o'clock to go to your next place. So that was really cool for me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and if you're there to learn how to sail, they'll teach you that. If you're there to get certified to sail, they'll teach you that, and we'll talk about that here in a second too.
Yeah, and if you saw our earlier videos, then you will have seen Captain
Calvin.
Calvin
Was a rock star.
He was amazing, yes. And so he was in our earlier videos, and you can see him. Also, Chris and Robert were with us for a while on that trip as well. But that's just really neat to have someone on board to get you where you're going and teach you things that are going on, and then they leave.
Serenity is a 3-cabin boat. There are 4-cabin, even 5-cabin boats that you can charter through Cruise Abaco or just really any charter company. Most of the time, if you get yourself a captain, you're consuming one of your captains for that. So with the Cruise Abaco concept of Captain for a Day, you don't have that. So we'll talk about cost here in a minute and how that is
They don't
important.
take one of your cabins.
Yeah, they're not going to take one of your cabins.
Yeah.
But actually, I guess we could go ahead and move into the big 800-pound gorilla in the room, and let's move on to negatives. So why would you, when considering this vacation versus going on a cruise ship or going to an all-inclusive, cost? It's obviously more expensive. So let's flip our notes around a little bit, since we're talking about Captain for a Day, and let's talk about that. It's about $2,000. So like you can rent, let's just start with Serenity, because Serenity is the one that I'm most familiar on the prices with, is, depending on the part of time of year, it might be $7,000, $8,000, or $9,000 for a week to rent Serenity. Divide that by however many people you're bringing with you. But if you have to add a cabin, that's going to be about $2,000, $2,100 more.
A captain.
What did I say?
Cabin.
I said cabin. We need to have more coffee up in the house.
Add a
right
captain.
Now. Yeah, if you add we could just add a cabin right on the side of Serenity, like have to pop out on a slide
Just
on
sleep
the
on
RV.
the dinghy.
Sleep on the dinghy.
There you go.
Right. So if you have to add the captain, it's about $2,000 more. So now you're talking about, like, worst case scenario, $9,000 for a week now becomes $11,000 for the week. But if you have the captain train you, and then the next time you come out and you have the captain certify you, which is 4 different tests, 4 different exercises of going out and them teaching you what to do, you don't have to do that anymore. I don't necessarily recommend against the captains. The captains are amazing. They'll tell you all the cool places. Like, if we go over there, there's probably dolphins over here. You could probably dive down and get you some lobster for dinner, because we know where like the cool local places are. But if you do look in the future to try to save some money, if you get certified, if you can do what's called a bare boat charter, then the ticket price of the charter becomes the price of the charter, and you can save a little bit of money that way.
And depending on how many people you bring.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got on Serenity 3 bedrooms plus the day bed. You could bring 3 couples, and then you split the cost.
Theoretically even bring 4.
Well, if you were a fourth. If you were
Chad
the
and
fourth.
Emily over at Cruise Abercrombie yell at me for saying that, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but you are the 4th one, so you bring 3 others.
Oh, others, right.
Yeah, 3 other couples, and then divide that by 4, and then...
Yeah. The downside, just as a disclaimer, the reason that we don't advertise Serenity as a 4-cabin boat is because she's a 3-cabin boat,
Yeah,
but she
yes.
happens to have another bed that you could sleep on, but somebody's sharing a bathroom, so truly a bed and a head.
And by sharing a bathroom, there are 3 bathrooms on Serenity.
Yeah.
So you're sharing one of the 3 bathrooms that are fairly nice, including the owner's suite.
But they are ensuite bathrooms, so it means somebody's got to leave their door open. So, but if you do bring, let's just say 3 couples, you and family members and other family members or friends, we have a lot of people that come out and they have annual trips with some friends. You now take that, let's say that you've cut the cost down to 8,000 or 9,000, 7,000 in some times of the year, but let's just say 8,000, and you've gotten rid of the need for a captain. Divide that by 3 couples. Now we're talking cruise ship prices again. So yeah, the cost of the boat is the cost of the boat. We didn't know this when we did this the first time. We were total noobs, and we were emailing back and forth because like Carissa and Robert suddenly said, "Hey, we want to come too." And we're like, "Is that okay? Do we have to pay extra?" We didn't realize. We didn't know.
Right.
But that's it. You're chartering a boat. You bring as many people as you feel like you can fit on that boat. So you're not going to be like in cruise ship mode or in all-inclusive where you're having to pay per person. So that's a big part of it. You can really split that up well if you if you bring people with you. If you don't go like we're going on New Year's by ourselves.
Right. Yeah, so groceries are going to be a lot cheaper
Yeah.
with just me and you going.
Yeah, that's true. And beer, probably a little
Grocery
less
list
expensive,
will probably
so.
be a bit smaller. That is one thing that you definitely want to consider is the cost of food. And that is our dog Bella. And
There's apparently somebody
probably
at the front door.
a package maybe being delivered. I don't know.
Yeah, if you guys, I'm not sure how well the microphones are picking that up. The microphone's right here.
Yeah. And
Bella is losing her mind because she's guarding the entrance to the cave. And
Yes.
somebody apparently encroaching. It's probably Amazon. Let's be
yeah.
honest. It's that time of year.
Okay.
'Tis the season to have lots of Amazon deliveries every single day for the next 4 weeks. So.
Yeah. With the food, it is more expensive.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, if you are at a location and you want to try their
Can't miss restaurant.
cuisine, even though groceries are expensive, the restaurants are expensive too. So you probably want to like just go have lunch or an appetizer and a cocktail, and then go back to the boat to prepare dinner. But before you go, you want to make sure that you have the groceries, like a grocery list.
Yes.
Like meal plan. We're going to do tacos this night. And then maybe we don't. Maybe we find an amazing restaurant. Well, tacos are tomorrow night now.
Yeah.
Oh, so you want to meal plan though, and not just go buy a bunch of snacks and frivolous things, because we learned from our very first time that we bought probably
much food.
$300 too much food.
Yeah.
Because we didn't need it. And so you want to really consider, and if you run out of food, sometimes you go to a place like Hopetown, and there's grocery stores. So you don't,
There are, yeah.
you don't have to buy everything at the grocery store where you start.
Exactly. Well put. There's so let's pretend like you have an itinerary and you've got a rough float plan. So your float plan, maybe it says we're going to Elbow Key on this day, and then we're going to Tilu on this day. Well, Elbow Key's got grocery stores and restaurants that you really shouldn't miss, and Tilu's got nothing, right? And that's one of the charms about it.
Yeah.
You're going to be anchored out there. You're going to have like no light pollution. The stars are just going to blow your mind. But there ain't no restaurants there. So you need to be planning ahead and saying, okay, this night we're going to make pizza or spaghetti or whatever it is your thing is. But on, as Lisa's point there, on Elbow Key, you've got multiple restaurants that everybody's going to tell you, you can't miss Captain Jack's, you can't miss On the Beach, you can't miss the Hopetown Inn and Marina. All right, great. That's going to be a $400 dinner for your crew of 6 people. So, like she said, do lunch. It's way cheaper. Mm-hmm. Or go there for dinner. Get you some sundowners. And get you some appetizers for the table. Mm-hmm. And go and eat those, and then you're not going to be hungry for a little while, and then later that night fix something on the boat. If you really want to save money, do it that way. And as Lisa said, expensive groceries, but they're not that expensive, right? There is obviously the surcharge, just the more expensive getting the groceries out to the islands. Obviously, they don't have cows in the Bahamas. The beef is all imported.
Yeah, our cab driver tells us, yep, we bring it all in from the States. This is from the States.
A couple times a year.
Yeah.
They fly back to the U.S. and they load up on stuff at Sam's, and they have it shipped over, and that's
our
what
cab driver does.
That cab, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about from the groceries. The groceries are from the States as well.
Right. Yeah.
But,
exactly.
Yeah, but all the boats that you would charter, they all have full galleys. Mm-hmm. Even have grills.
Yep.
So I mean, let's say you want to do burgers every night. Burgers and dogs every single night.
Cheeseburgers in paradise.
Yep. Then you've got that. Steaks, chicken, grilled chicken. We've done fajitas. A lot of options you can have that are relatively inexpensive. More expensive than here, mm-hmm. but it's relatively inexpensive to do just simple meals like that. That's just comfort foods. So, yeah.
So we've got just a quick pause here. Sailing Stillwater, who we're representing.
Yeah.
I think the GoPro quit GoProing.
Oh, okay. Well, we were hoping you guys would stop by, so
something just went wrong with the GoPro. Not sure what's up. I'm going to try resetting that. I don't know how long that's been going on, but let me reset the camera feed here. That's weird. So fortunately, we have a backup option. I assume that nothing is coming through except for a GoPro thingificator here. So just for a second here, let me go ahead and do that. This is our backup. I'm going to reset the GoPro here. Sorry, technical difficulties were new on the whole.
Oops. There we go. Yay.
Yay, Stillwater. Thank you guys. we figured you'd be here. We highly recommend, if anybody here is watching or watching in the VOD, on the chance that these folks showed up today, check this link out. But not right now. But when you watch the VOD, yeah, we've got used to the GoPro and where the things are, but there's now like a different cam here. That's Sailing Stillwater. They have an awesome channel. They also are big time into the chartering stuff just like us. So go check out their channel. They've got some amazing videos. They'll tell you all kinds of cool things, especially if you're more of a BVI person, you're not a Bahamas person. Sail Stillwater has got a lot of good stuff like that. Now let's see if the GoPro is going to work. Nope, no GoPro. Well, we'll just we'll deal with this webcam. So whatever happened to the poor GoPro, we'll figure that out later. I'm going to go ahead and shut her down and bring her back up because what do they say? Turn it off and turn it back on again?
Yeah. And we only have a few more things to talk about, so.
Yeah, we're getting close. So
yeah.
Moving on to the next topic is obviously we said we were going to talk about all-inclusives. Mm-hmm. So the all-inclusive vacation, the thing that I hate about it is that most everybody, including ourselves, every time we've done it, we go to the resort and we stay at the resort and we never leave the resort. So were you really in Belize? Were you really in Cancun? Were you really in Cozumel?
Yeah.
I don't know if that really counts. I'm going to put that below this because I don't think that the GoPro is coming back.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's fine. This camera works out just well.
Yeah.
We're almost done anyway, like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah.
That I think that's probably the move that there. So Lisa's here. Also, look at Lisa's pretty little mic
Oh, yeah.
smiley face there. So.
I didn't have purple, but that's okay.
No, the Lark
I had pink. It's
needs
fine.
to have better stickers. Yeah. So I mean, they got some good ones there.
It's
but-
fine. It's
All
fine.
right. So the other thing that we wanted to say about the being there when you do leave the resort, word defecating and whatnot, you're not usually going somewhere authentic. I mean, if you're in Jamaica and you go to Dunn's River Falls, that's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time when you're leaving, like in Cancun's a good, or Cozumel's, Cancun's a really good example because all the resorts, all the all-inclusives are in this giant line. And you're like, oh, I want to go out and experience this part of Mexico. I want to see Yucatan. Well, the resorts all own the area that they're going to take you to. Mm-hmm. All the gift shops, all the bars, all the restaurants, all the water activities are all going to be captured in that, just like the cruise ships do. They figure it out. People come to their place. But most of the people, they just go to the same place. And it's the same beach. And it's the same hotel. And it's the same everything. All the same activities. It gets repetitive. When you're on a charter, your backyard changes every morning, if you want it to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and sometimes it does, because especially if you're on a mooring ball and then one morning you're here and the next morning you're facing the other direction, you're like,
That's
oh,
true.
hey, look at
Yeah,
that scenery.
The wind switched direction, so now the backyard is different. So yeah, it's different than that would be in an all-inclusive where you open your back door to your sliding glass door from your resort to go walk out. It's going to be the same thing every day. So
Yeah.
I mean, there's superior things there. The food is a different one that we talked about before. Everybody talks about their all-inclusive. Hey, all the food's included. Yeah.
Buffets.
Yeah.
Things you have to make reservations for that is still buffet.
Yeah.
And then-
Or like the steak restaurant that you go to one night and that's okay food or good food. It's like a
Yeah.
3-star restaurant back home, but
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Be honest with yourself. If you've been on like an all-inclusive trip before, think back to what your food was actually like, and you're like, okay, well, yeah, it was good because you were hungry.
Yeah. Or you had drank a lot. And
Or
it
you
didn't,
drank a
And
lot.
it didn't matter because you just eat a lot when
Oh yeah, this was what we were trying to show to Sail Stillwater.
We didn't get to. Okay.
We didn't get to do that because it's stupid GoPro and blah, blah, blah. We're representing you guys
We
today.
had these in the cabinet. Like,
Yep.
we drink out of them every day.
Yeah.
Well, our kids went to Stillwater.
Yeah.
Our kids both graduated from OSU.
Okay, good. Sail Stillwater is also telling us that the camera didn't cut out too long ago.
Oh, good. That's good.
Right, and they're also echoing our thought. I think that they're going to use Cruise Abaco later this year, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, they're echoing our thoughts that the captain for a day stuff in the chat. I was just catching up on the chat. So, the other thing that I've noticed is like you go to an all-inclusive resort and it's great service, and then you go back to the same one and it's not. So it's like really hit or miss. Like sometimes you've got fantastic service and sometimes you don't. And well, you're on a charter, you don't have any service. So you don't have to worry about being mad at anybody. So the other thing I forgot to mention on the food is I've gotten food poisoning twice at these resorts. One of them was Montezuma's Revenge, and that was at one of the more upscale type of places in Cancun. Yeah, it was the pyramid thing. You know,
Oh, yeah.
That's like one of the, like standard traditional things. Yeah, even that, I got bad food poisoning at that. Of course, I also got food poisoned by Dolly Parton. So I guess
That was in Branson.
That was in Branson, Missouri. So I can't really necessarily talk about that. Yeah, Dolly Parton poisoned me. So not a big fan anymore.
Undercooked chicken.
Yeah.
Ooh, bad news.
But as far as like another thing that I hear a lot of people who either are BVI type people or they're Bahama type people or just, Abaco type people is like, does it get boring? And we have now been going for a cumulative amount of time, 3 months in Abaco.
Yeah, cumulative since
Add it all up.
2022.
Yeah, since 2022. If you add up all of our trips out there, we've been there for over 3 months and we still haven't seen everything. Mm-hmm. So you start talking about like, at a all-inclusive, it's going to take you about 2 days to really probably see everything and do everything that they have. And, well, gosh, 3 months later, we're still thinking, at some point we're worried we're going to get bored out there. It hasn't happened yet. I know that it will because there's only so many things you can do in the Abacos, but my goodness, that's part of the reason why we're ditching and going south.
Right,
again.
but every time we bring people, we're like, we want to show you this.
That's true.
And so we go back because it's just so exciting.
Yeah,
and
we'll
we
go
want
back to Hopetown.
Show them. Yeah.
Yeah. I worry sometimes about the quality of the videos too. It's like, how many times can we really do a video about Hopetown? How many times can
Or
we
on the
climb
beach.
or on the beach or climb the lighthouse?
Yeah, we love that. But we're so excited to show people, but we want to still video and put it out there. But you're like, oh, weren't they in Hopetown just yesterday? Like,
it does feel like that.
I have
right?
people at work say, were you just out there in the Bahamas? I'm like, no, sorry, that was a few months ago.
A few months ago.
But they're like, okay.
Yeah, you guys just got back, right?
Yeah.
You mean from St. Augustine? Like, no, from the Bahamas. Oh, you're watching our videos.
Yeah. People at work are always talking to me about it. I love it. And I have people saying, we love watching your videos. And I'm like, I love hearing that because we don't know until someone tells us.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. We don't get a lot of feedback. We haven't been out there long enough to get a whole lot of comments yet. So I'm glad to hear that some people like that.
Yeah.
But I think that at this point we can say, like, in conclusion, our thing is like, we like chartering over cruise ship. We like chartering over all inclusive because we've done all three and we really feel like it's the better of the three. But my advice is try it, right? Yes, it probably will be expensive compared to some of the other options you're seeing out there the first time, but I think you're going to find that it is a totally different class of vacation, and give it a shot. Take one of your vacations sometime in the near future. You don't need to know how to sail. You don't need to know, just know that you were renting a boat, and they have motor yachts too, but if you take Serenity out and you get the captain, you're going to see what it's like to be on a sailboat of that size and get to see kind of how the lines run. You'll find that it's really not that challenging. Everybody thinks it's super complicated. You might even find yourself finding a passion for it. But if you don't find a passion for it, then just keep, saying, well, every time we come out here, we had such a great time that time. We're coming out here as people who just get the captain and they take us around. I think you guys are going to love it.
Yeah.
Really, and maybe you'll hate it, but you know what? Then you can yell at me in the comments. If you want to know what it looks like, though, hit that next point, because this was you thought of that one.
Yes.
You want to know what it looks like? We can show you.
Binge from the beginning, right?
Yeah. Start at the beginning of
Yeah.
our list of episodes, because
We start sitting on our boat at the lake talking about this. And then we experienced and tried it. And we're like, oh, okay, maybe, okay. Going through some processes, which you will watch and see. And it is not just an overnight thing. Like, it is a year's thing. I mean, here we are in 2025, almost 2026, and we just got our boat in 2024. So
2024, yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah.
It was February. Gosh.
I know. So, I mean, it took
Wow.
years, but go back from the beginning and watch our story. That is what we would like for you to do.
Yeah, I think that you guys would at least get an idea of what it might look like. If you watch our first 11 videos and you're like, God, that looks miserable, yeah, probably don't do it. But if you look at those videos and you're like, wow, that looks like so much fun, and then remember that all those places that we went in that video those series of videos, those were the places we decided that we were going to go.
Yeah.
And if you decide that you want to, here is yet another QR code that you can use to go to our website that has links to not only this channel, but also it's got links to Cruise Abaco and the Serenity page on that for booking a charter. Give it a shot, guys. I mean, don't spend your money on any more all-inclusives, and don't be a cattle cart type of scenario on your cruise. But anyway, and special thanks again to Brian and Jillian.
Brian and
Thank
Jillian.
you.
I'm so glad you guys
Thanks.
could join
Thanks
us.
for joining us this morning. That's been awesome having you guys here. And we haven't seen your latest video yet. That's on the list for right after we do this. We're gonna go watch you guys' next one. But yeah, so I'll throw that link up here one more time. So Brian and Jillian, boom, right there.
Sailing Stillwater.
Yeah, Sailing Stillwater. So Stillwater, Oklahoma. They're local people near us.
Yep, they're not too far from us.
Yep. So anyway, I think that covers everything we wanted to talk about today. So
Yeah.
guys, thanks so much for letting us share our story
Yes.
with you. We've had so much fun making these videos and putting them out, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching them. But anything last second that you want to say?
No, just thank you for watching, and for those
see
of
you
you that
next Saturday.
Yeah, see you next Saturday on our next video of our adventure that was huge this last summer.
Yeah,
So.
Winding Bay.
Yep.
So, all right. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.